we're not really good at that. We're always
even with like a 20-year advantage.
Right.
Like, it's Florida State.
It's Florida State. It's Miami. Oh, at some point we'll get it right, and that actually has not been the case. So we tasked you with this. We pulled it up on the screen here. So how many times does the media pick the champion correctly? And 30 out of 47 times. That is 63.8% of the time. That doesn't seem really good to me, man.
So it's okay, but you also have to keep in mind that a lot of those years there's been a lot of predictability when it comes to the ACC, especially with Florida State and Clemson. The media correctly picked Florida State 9 or 10 times in a row in the 90s. And then Clemson recently obviously has had a lot of success. So in terms of if you take that aside, it's especially not a great looking number, but it's decent overall.
Okay. Now, the one that I found interesting was what was the percentage of correct champion predictions before FSU joined the league? And it was a 50-50 proposition.
Yeah.
I mean, that really speaks to what the ACC
including
was.
State in 79.
Right.
The only time they've ever been picked to win it.
50. I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah, a couple Maryland picks in there, which ended up coming to fruition, a couple not. A couple Carolina picks. I think the Carolina picks were directly 50-50 in that time frame. And then NC State, as Joe mentioned as well. So, yeah, that's probably a better number if you were to take out Florida State and Clemson. Obviously, you can't go back and change that, but I would imagine that would be the number that would carry through if those two were not so dominant.
Yeah, just in the expansion era, it's 11 out of 19.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it feels, does that mean we weren't picking Virginia Tech, Cal? Like, how did 58% just doesn't feel good in this era. Like, we're not talking about trying to get Steve Spurrier and to get the 87 Duke title or 89 Duke title.
Yeah, it was 89.
Yeah, I mean that number is indicative of some of the recent
Miami,
right? Exactly, Miami. Virginia Tech has picked a couple times.
Those are all the Miami picks.
That's Virginia Tech too was up there a couple times, but wasn't picked several times as well. So.
And then there's the fun fact: has there ever been a team that was picked last at this event and then went on to win the ACC title? I actually knew the fun fact of this because that was one of the wilder seasons I remember being a part of, and that was the 2006 Wake Forest squad with Jim Grobe as a coach. Because in a previous life, we used to talk. They were so they really wanted Wake Forest conversations to take place that we talked to Jim Grobe every week on the show.
Wow,
and that was a pretty wild time. Every week we talked to him on like Monday or Tuesday,
including that year.
Yeah, including that year.
That's pretty cool.
Because, it's Wake, man. They wanted the pub. They want to keep people going, right? And we had done it a couple of years prior to that. So I guess they felt like, well, you were talking to us at our lowest point. I guess we'll keep talking to you while we're at our highest. And that was a really fun season to watch. Remember that Clemson game was like the big, is it going to happen? And obviously they went on to do the thing and go to the Orange Bowl. So, yeah, Wake Forest is that team. I don't see that happening anytime soon in this new 3-3-5 model, though.
Well, hopefully this year it can happen. I still have my hopes up for UVA winning the ACC. So, hopefully that there will be a team added to that number this year.
All right.
Cal, I feel like you like all of the teams I hate other than the Yankees.
Let's let the Yankees make up for it then. Yeah, we can agree on that.
That's what brings you guys together.
You got Patriots, you got Virginia.
Yeesh.
Are you a Tony Bennett fan?
Might be time to find a new
I'm kind of.
No comment? Is that a no comment?
No comment.